Live at 85. Amazing. This is a no jive zone. My name is James Ellsman. I'm Lawyer Jim for Jesus. And I come to you on the Saturday before the 4th of July, 2022. At about 3 o'clock Michigan time. I'm a lawyer in a town called Birmingham, Michigan. No, I'm not paid by any church. I'm not paid. I've received freely from Jesus. I give out freely to you. In my law office. See all those pictures of University of Michigan Law Quadrangle? Bragamony stuff. Brag, 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 brag. Not going to count anything when I go for judgment. As we all will. Don't fool yourself. And you think that Jesus is going to come at a time when he announces it to you in advance? No. It'll be sudden. Death will come suddenly. And death will come certainly. Yeah, it's more certain than taxes. A lot of people are going to die. Maybe they never paid a tax. By hook or crook. The topic today is just so topical, meaningful in today's time. Inflation. Yeah. You can't turn around today. Watch the news, listen to the news without hearing that word, inflation. You go to the gas station, inflation. You go to the meat market, inflation. But you know what? In Jesus' kingdom, there's no inflation. None. Just take a deep breath and relax. Yawn like I was just about to do. Stretch. Now let me introduce myself before we get going on inflation. James Ellsman, lawyer. Educated at fancy schools. University of Michigan undergrad, majoring in Russian and Chinese, such that the CIA wanted me badly. They didn't get me. I wanted to do positive things for mankind. Yeah, I take a lot of deep breaths. Man is made to oxygenate. When I play tennis, let me not go there. I've been famous around the world in tennis. But at 85, you get a little gut on you. Those days are over. I've traveled for pay to Japan, South Africa. my address where this law office is located. All right, James Elsman, Elsman, 725 South Adams, Suite 182, Birmingham, Michigan, not Alabama, 48009. If you didn't pick that up, stay tuned. I have to announce it every broadcast. Who am I? The eldest of 7 children, born to a humble, lower middle class family in Parchment, Michigan. That's near Kalamazoo. Parchment was a paper mill town. I worked in those paper mills to pay my way through college. After I'd already saved $8,000, back when $8,000 was a lot of money, as a paper boy. And I was so young, the Kalamazoo Gazette did not even think I could pay my bills for those papers. I was 7. From 7 to 17, I owned that route. And my brothers and sisters, I employed. When I was 17, I went away to the University of Michigan. And my parents said, you have to forfeit your route to your brothers and sisters. I said, no, I've got receivables to collect. My parents said, that's too bad. If you haven't worked hard enough to collect them by now, they get the route free, and they can collect those receivables and put them in their pockets. I lost that argument. I had my chance. So I had a lot of life experiences as a Michigan undergraduate. I was editor of the school paper at the editorial page. I went to Cuba, snuck in and got a story for Batista, Cuba. Went to Little Rock Central High. You people are too young to even remember when President Eisenhower sent the 101st Airborne to force integration of the first Southern school. 9 kids got in. I snuck into the school, got an exclusive story. I'll tell you about it sometime. It's a little bit of a diversion, a non sequitur, as the lawyers say. Well, I did 8 years of college education. What a waste. So where do I go next? Harvard Divinity School. I had a full ride scholarship. I was a minister in a church in a town called Dorchester, which is part of Boston. And I didn't do anything except ride the MTA back and forth a couple of times on Sunday. Handled saying the scripture on Sunday morning, and came back on Sunday night to handle the youth group. Oh man, I didn't know much, but I did study under some great scholars who knew a lot about the Dead Sea Scrolls. So I approach the Bible as a very interesting subject, and influenced by archaeology If you don't know what the Dead Sea Scrolls are, don't worry about it. But they confirmed the legitimacy of, for example, Isaiah, the whole book of Isaiah. There are scholarly controversies about, was it written as one book or two or three books merged together? We don't have time to go into that. And then, after divinity, lawyers always are trained to stay right on the straight relevancy of thought. I went to law school, back at Michigan, married while I was in law school, graduated the highest paid in my law school class of 62, law, Michigan. It's a famous law school. Let's put it that way. Highest paid by Chrysler Corporation, legal department. Very heady stuff. They called us the high priest. We only had 11 lawyers way back in 62. But all the executives came to us to have us touch and approve what they were doing, sometimes not so legally. So we had to shape them up, tell them when they were wrong, and do it diplomatically, because they loved us. We took all the executive pressures away from them being fired. If legal approved it, it was gospel. I didn't like that. I wanted to practice by myself and help humanity, not big corporations. And for the last 50 years, that's what I've been doing. I own my own firm. Still practicing 60 years of law. I don't think you'll find any doctor of medicine or certainly not a lawyer that's practiced 60 years. Remember, I graduated in 62. It's now 2022. I think that's 60 years. You want to call me and complain? I gave you my address. And I gave you my phone, 248 area 766-5184. All right, you got me. You want my email? elsmanlawfirm@aol.com. Wow. I feel like I have no secrets. But I've got to get on to the message. Inflation nation? No, I'm not going to talk to you about the nation. We've got more problems. I don't worry about one of them because Jesus rules the world and he can command angels. He can make seas rise or fall, or he can conclude all civilization. It's going to be by fire. I'll give you a hint. If you know the scriptures, it's not going to be by flood this time. Fire. Fire. You say, oh, hydrogen bomb. No. God knows how to do it. Don't jump the gun. Tell him how to do it. No, it doesn't even mean Russia, Ukraine. I'm not going to play prophet. I'll tell you, it's much more likely to be United States versus China. The hordes of the East are going to come. We call it Gog and Magog. China and India will have their day in the sun. The United States has not promised any future in the Bible. If you disagree with me, argue your case. But it's clear, no future. Excuse me while I take a drink. You say, hey, Elsman, why the heck are you doing this? You're a lawyer, you can make money. Why don't you just shut up and let life go on? You make your money, leave us alone. Well, as you hear from my history, freely I've been given a great background. You think my instructions from Jesus are strange? Here's what the 12 disciples got. This is from Matthew 10. Quote, do not go among the Gentiles or enter any town of the Samaritans. I shouldn't even be preaching to you people. You're mainly Gentiles. Go rather to the lost sheep of Israel. As you go, preach this message. The kingdom of heaven is near. Heal the sick, raise the dead. Raise the dead. I don't have that power. If God gives it to me, I can execute it. Drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. I can't charge you anything. All the rest of the world is for a price. Freely have you received, freely give. Do not take along any gold or silver or copper in your belts. In other words, you don't need money in your wallet. Take no bag, a suitcase, or extra coat or sandals or a staff, for the worker is worth his keep. But be on your guard against men. They will hand you over to the local councils and flog you in their synagogues. On my account, you will be brought before governors and kings. Don't worry about what you're going to say. At that time, you will be given what to say. For it will not be you speaking, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. Brother will betray brother to death, and the father his child. I don't know. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. I can imagine that one. A man's enemies will be members of his own household. And whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. That's sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. And you thought he was an innocent lamb. I'm glad to serve him. I'm glad he doesn't charge us inflationary prices for his blessings. It's all free. I just want you to get that concept. It's all free. Amazing. Salvation is free. The most important thing in life that assures us that we're going to live forever. It's free. Such a deal. Such a deal. He doesn't even raise the price because there never was a price. The price was his blood. It's free. I can't believe